Good morning, amazing Arbonne women. It's week 6, our last week of our 6 weeks of training, and I'm so excited to present to you today's Sales Without the Sleaze. I know that sales is a huge part of your business, and a lot of you aren't that comfortable with it. So hopefully the work that we go through over the next half hour will definitely give you some strategies, and B, a little bit more confidence to go out and give it a red hot shot. As always, please pop your questions into the Facebook group so that I can answer them as we go along, or if I don't get a chance to do them in the call today, we can answer them throughout the day and ongoing, because I'm sure a lot of people would have the same questions. So without further ado, let's get into the training. So after 6 weeks of me telling you that you're more incredible than you could possibly imagine, how are you feeling? Have you seen yourself progress over the last 6 weeks? Have you taken action on the things you've learned? It's all well and good to learn amazing new things, but if you don't take action, where's the benefit for you? So I really want you to consider what you've learned over the last 6 weeks and whether you've put it into action at all. And then I want you to consider how far you've come in the last 6 weeks. It's only a month and a half, but a lot can happen in a month and a half. Maybe you could pop into the Facebook group what you feel you've achieved, the most you feel you've ever achieved, or the thing you're most proud of, which would be wonderful. Let us celebrate your success. So today we're going to discuss what is selling, the secret formula to sales, the option A or the option B, and building confidence in sales. Like I said, it's all well and good to have the strategies and techniques, but if you don't have the confidence to go out there and execute, you're never going to get the results. So what is selling? Well, really simply, selling is the way you help people through your products or services. Okay? They need your products and services. They want your product and services. Maybe they don't know that they want it yet. So Henry Ford said, if I'd asked people what they wanted, they would have told me a faster horse. So sometimes you just need to innovate. Now, people might not know they want your product. They might not even know they need your product, but I know Arbonne does a really great job of educating you to the benefits of using Arbonne products and also the benefits of having an Arbonne business. So you can definitely articulate that to anyone who's in any of your workshops or you come across on the street. Sales is not a formal thing. Sales is not something that only happens when you've set up a meeting. Sales happens every single minute of every single day. We talked last week about building your brand. Well, sales is part of your brand. Whenever you're anywhere and you look great and you feel great, people are going to come up to you and talk to you, and then you can start talking to them about your product or your service. So if you look at it as a way of helping people through your product or service, then it takes a lot of the sleaze factor out. You're not being pushy, you're not being demanding, asking them to buy something that's going to be useless for them. Instead, you're really considerate of what they need and how they can do it. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. The secret formula, here it is. Find the problem. So people will often tell you what's at the front of their mind as far as their problems. So especially with me, the first thing people say is money, or time, or don't know what I want to do. And then when we really dig down into, what's the real root cause of that, most of the time it's something like confidence. Now, money is definitely a problem. It's a legitimate thing. You can feel it. You can see it. You can't go on holidays. So it's a legitimate problem. But what is the cause of the lack of the money? Well, maybe this person's a little bit scared of doing sales. Where does that come from? A fear of judgment. Where does that come from? A lack of confidence. Okay, so it's probably the confidence is the issue. And this is why at Moxxi we're so adamant that you can go through 1,000,001 trainings on how to do the formulaic or scientific stuff around sales or business or whatever, but until you've got your mindset down, until you understand how confidence plays a role in absolutely every area of your life, you cannot possibly succeed. So find the problem first is the first step of this formula, and this will help you to build your confidence to be able to identify how you can help. So if they have an issue with their skincare, if they don't trust the products that are on the market, if there's so many things and everything tells you it's the best thing, how do they know what they want? If they haven't got enough money or they don't have enough time, why is that? Is it a lack of confidence? Is it a lack of support? Is it people not understanding what they really want out of life? This is all the stuff that Arbonne offers. A beautiful community of amazing women who support you, heaps of training, heaps of opportunity. So what is it that's really the problem? And don't settle for the first answer. Dig deeper. Ask leading questions. After they've given you 4 or 5 examples of what their problem might be, you can say to them, look, is it possible that it's a lack of time for yourself? Is it possible that you're not feeling mentally challenged? Is it possible that you are feeling a little bit lonely? Is it possible, you don't be rude about it, you don't shove it down their throat. So saying, is it possible, to frame the question is a really good way of them going, no, or yeah, actually that's a problem. And we're all individual, spectacular, magnificent creatures, but we also all suffer from a lot of the same challenges. So being able to identify these will not only help them, but help you build rapport with them and find that little something that you can really make a difference in their life. And then once you've found what the real problem is, the actual issue, they probably have never faced it before. So then you have to ask, how is it real? What does it look like in your life? If it's a lack of confidence, has that resulted in you being broke? Has that resulted in a relationship breakdown? Has that resulted in you getting overweight? Like, how is it making you sad? Like, what is real? How is it real in your life? Because you can't solve someone's problem unless it's an actual problem. Like, if they just think it's a problem and it's not, well, then they're not going to be compelled to change. The people that really change are the ones that are sick of the whatever situation they are in, and they realize that no matter what, something has to change, and they will work their little butt off to do it. So establishing that's real is such an important step, because without that, they don't connect to that pain and wanting to leave the pain behind. So once they've gone there, you want to bring them back out to the happy place. Now, the important part in that section that I didn't mention is never to break tension. So when someone's telling you about how it's affecting their life in negative ways, it's really important not to go, it's okay, you'll be right, don't worry, you'll be fine. Because that breaks the tension, and tension is the chemistry of sales. So when you're having this conversation, it's really important to nod, listen and ask questions, but never offer any kind of condolence or support throughout that process. At the end, you definitely can, but you can lose sales through a hug. You really can. This is something you're going to have to get comfortable with. It's as important that you get comfortable with it as the client gets uncomfortable with it, and it just takes practice. And then you need to visualize life without that problem. So it depends on what the problem is, but you just ask them what, if that didn't exist, what could your life be? I could be confident in my skincare, I could do it in 5 minutes, I could have beautiful makeup, I could do this, I could look great, I could attract people, I could earn more money. What would that mean? Well, I'd take a holiday, I'd pay my bills, and I'd hang out with my kids more. Okay, what would that mean? Oh, everything to me, Okay, so you've just identified that if you had X, Y, and Z, which was fixing the problem, then you want to live an amazing life, essentially, if we got rid of that problem. And they're like, yeah. And then the next stage is actually to remove barriers. So at this point, people are going, yeah, it'd be great. Oh man, it'd be so lovely. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And I'm sure you all understand this, been there before. But I have no time, but I have no money, but I don't know how to sell, but I this, but I that. And all the excuses out under the sun will come out. So before they even get a chance to do that, you actually remove the barriers. So you can say things like, all right, you've told me that you would like to change. When would you like to see this change happen? And they go, well, now would be great. Excellent. Okay, now, awesome. And how much time would you be willing to give each week to do it? They go, oh, a couple of hours. Oh, excellent. A couple of hours. Great. And how much money would you be willing to spend? Oh, a couple $100. Excellent. Okay, so you've told me that you want to start now. You've told me that you would be willing to put a couple of hours a week into it, and you've told me that you're willing to spend a couple $100. You've pretty much nailed an Arbonne business on the head. So an Arbonne business will cost couple of $100 to set up. You do it 2 to 3 hours a week, and you'll get really good results. You can start today with all your training and support that you could possibly need, and we can start building up to remove the problem you mentioned earlier and live the life that you described to me when we got rid of your issue. What do they do then? They go, oh, and then you ask for the sale. And this is the absolute most important part of any sale. You have to ask for it. If you go, all right, then I'll just leave that with you. Thanks so much for your time. Talk to you later. They're going to go away and not get it done because the tension is broken. All right, so you need to hit them when the tension is there. Now, women are a bit more challenging than men. So men will make a snap decision. Women do like to think about it. They often like to go home and talk to their other half to see if it's going to fit with their family goals and things like that. So, you know, don't be too pushy. Don't push them over the edge there, but get them to commit to something. Say, can I sign you up? And you can have a 24-hour or 48-hour cool-off period. You know, can I get a deposit off you? Can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do this? Can I do that? So you actually lock down the sale when they're in front of you rather than waiting to follow them up in 2 weeks, by which time they've gone to the shop, bought some Nivea and decided that network marketing will be too hard for them. So you really have to work in the moment with the tension and try and get the result. So asking for the sale is really important because that is what will close them for you. If you don't ask, how do you know, some people are going to say yes because they're really keen on the product, but most people need some convincing. So that's the secret formula of sales. I hope that it's making sense to you. Please feel free to ask any questions or make any comments in the Facebook group. But if any one of you have had a conversation with me, you'll know that I do this and it definitely works. My products are quite expensive, so not a lot of people, or there are a lot of people, but you know, a percentage of them will say no. And it's just the way it is. You just have to understand that not everyone is going to see value in your product. Not everyone will value their skin or their finances, and that's fine. So even though this is a secret formula and it does have amazing success rate, please be ready for the rejection. Don't attend the meeting with rejection in mind. Attend the meeting with absolute clarity that you can win this and that you can change someone's life, and it will be amazing. But flex your rejection muscle because it's going to happen. It's business. No one succeeds 100% of the time. So another technique that I use is option A or option B. So when someone asks, you know, you go, okay, so do you want the foundation or the mascara? You know, you don't say, okay, so what do you want? Because when you say, what do you want, people go, oh, I don't know, I'll think about it, I'll come back later, don't worry about it, nah, too hard, don't hard, nah. When you offer them A or B, you're pretty much guaranteeing them sale. So do you want to sign up now or do you want to sign up next week? Do you want to come to this week or do you want to come to the next week? Do you want to see me on Wednesday or see me on Thursday? Can you see how that is so much more of a confident and successful outcome likely way of doing that? Then would you like to book in a workshop? No. Okay. All right. Would you like to book in a workshop next week, Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday? You know, you're being a little bit manipulative and you're definitely pushing their hand a little, but if you're doing it out of love and you're doing it for the right reasons, you know, it's a good night. You're a lot of fun. You're bringing them an opportunity to catch up with their friends and use some nice products, you know. You have to be a little bit pushy. You have to be a little bit asking, but you do it in such a way that it doesn't feel like you're being pushy. There's no sleaze there. It's just, look, I really want to serve you. So today or tomorrow, what's going to work best? When people try and cancel workshops or, meetings with me, I always say, not a problem. You can definitely cancel. Can I book you in tomorrow? Okay. You know, and a lot of the time it's because they're nervous or shy or don't really know what they want, or they think they don't want to invest in themselves, or, you know, and that's fine. I mean, you don't win them all. There are people that go, actually, I don't want either, and that's fine. But by offering A or B, not just A or not just B, or an open-ended question, you're going to get significantly better results. So the best way to do this is to understand what the customer needs through the conversation that you had represented on the last slide, and then offer them the ones that are going to work for them. Don't be a sleaze about it. Actually offer the things that are going to make a difference in their life. By doing it, you remove the out option, the no option, the I don't want anything option. Pretty much, like, you'll find that most people will get something, which is fantastic. And if you come at it from a point of view that you make more sales, therefore you are happier because you are in it to make money, let's be honest about that, and you influence more people with what you do. If only 1% of Australia knows what Arbonne is, then everyone you sell something to is getting an amazing product that's going to be good for their skin and really help them to look after themselves. And let's be real about this. If someone invests in their skincare and it costs a few $100s, they're actually going to wash their face, aren't they? You know, if you buy a $2 cleanser, you're probably not going to bother about it. The same happens in self-development. If I put products in for really cheap, they sell, but no one does them. If I put them more expensive, exactly the same product, I probably make a similar amount of money because you need less sales, but the people get amazing results because it hurts them. It hurts their hip pocket, so they think, I better use it. So everybody wins. Absolutely everybody wins. And that is the best deal, when everybody wins. All right. Here's the fun part. Building your confidence in sales. So first of all, you need to learn to listen. And I'm sure a lot of you are good listeners, and that's great. But listening is an actual skill. So to listen is to completely devoid your brain of anything except the conversation that's coming out of the other person's mouth and body. So we have a terrible tendency as humans to listen to someone and just be like, yep, when are you stopping talking so I can say what I want to say? I've got a great story. I've got something that I really want to tell you. Yep. And we actually don't listen at all. Now, I hope that you're not sitting there going, oh, I listen great. Really consider that there is a possibility that when you listen, it's mostly with the intention to talk. So when we listen, we actually pick up on a lot of information that's not just verbal, but also physical, and also from the heart. So if you listen openly and honestly, you will pick up so much more information, which will build significantly better rapport, and you can ask the right questions that are really going to get a person on board. And then pay attention, not just to them, but to their environment, to what they're doing. I find if I go to someone's house and I notice a painting on their wall, or the car they drive, or a blouse they're wearing, or even a perfume they're wearing, and I compliment them on it, and it builds rapport. They understand that I'm there for them, and I'm paying attention to what's happening in their environment. And it's really, really, really important that you pay attention in absolutely everything. So listen and pay attention. This will build your confidence because you'll come from a space of love. When you're paying attention to someone else, you stop worrying about your own issues. You stop worrying about your confidence challenges. You stop worrying about that because you're paying attention to someone else. And you can't do two things at once. You can't tell me you can do two things at once. It's physically impossible. So when you're paying attention to someone else, you cannot be nervous about yourself. Now, you can be flicking back and forth very quickly, which could make you feel nervous at the same time as you're paying attention. But trust me, if you're coming from a space of love and you're really paying attention, you're not going to feel stressed about the sale. And then work out your sales muscle. It's like anything else. You need to do it often. You need to do it regularly. You need to do it as many times a day as you can. And then you will get momentum, and it won't be as difficult. Momentum is the absolute secret sauce of business. When you find that someone gets momentum, they start building that energy we were talking about last week, where people are attracted to them. People want to come and do business with them. People are excited for them. The people that are shit get out of their life really, really quickly. And it's just such a powerful element of business. So you need to get momentum. And then number 6, throw out, is similar to pay attention. Absolutely throw out to your environment rather than internalizing what's going on. Really focus on the people in your life around you, what they're doing, and how you can serve them, and you will get out of your own head. And this is so important because we get in our own head, especially after 3 or 4 rejections. Someone pulls out of a workshop, someone cancels an order, and you're really counting on that, and you're hoping for it, and you're excited about it. For a lot of reasons. 1, it's going to make you money. 2, it's going to help them. 3, you have a nice night out, and now that they've cancelled, throw out. Realize that it's not about you, it's about them, and that you can help them by purely giving them the respect of saying, not a problem, shall I reschedule you? And then be excited about what you do. Now, this is all coming together in, fake it till you make it. Use the right words. Make sure that you are taking consistent action every day to get that momentum. And then when you start making bulk dollars and start changing people's lives and having your consultants come to you so excited because they just got a new car, that's pretty fun stuff. You want that, don't you? I think it's a great thing. But people aren't going to come to you if you're bored and tired and really, really struggling. So listen, pay attention, come from a space of love, work out your sales muscle. Action makes the difference. Get momentum, throw out, and be really excited about what you do. So sales is your business, I don't think you can get around it. Sales help you grow. Without sales, you don't grow. You can't recruit people if you're not selling anything. It's that energy thing. You can't go on holidays. You can't enjoy your life. You don't get that work-life balance that you're really after. Without sales, the world doesn't change. If only 1% of Australia knows who Arbonne is for the rest of eternity, is that really serving the mission of the business? Is it really serving the people in the world? Probably not. And without sales, we stop. So if you're not making sales and you're not communicating and you're not getting your message out there, you're just going to have to get a real job again. So you'll stop. You'll stop progressing, you'll stop developing, you'll stop growing. You might give up Arbonne and just try something differently, and that's okay, but sales is where it's at. So you are a salesman even if you don't believe you are. If you convince your kid to go to bed, that's sales technique. They don't want to go to bed, but you have to convince them to do so. And sometimes bullying is a legitimate sales technique with children. And you can't sit there and tell me you aren't a salesperson. You are. Everyone is a salesperson. Sales is a lifestyle. Here's a great quote I found, and it's not your motivational quote, but it is a great one. Pretend that every single person you meet has a sign around his or her neck that says, "Make me feel important." Not only will you succeed in sales, but you will succeed in life. If you have read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, this is exactly what he talks about. And if you have not read that, I recommend you get it, if not in a real book, in an audio book, so you can listen to it. It's an absolutely brilliant book. It's been bestseller for like 70 years. And it basically talks about the innate human need for respect and how to make everyone feel $1 million. If you treat the checkout chick the same as a waitress, the same as the queen, you're just going to have not only a great impact on the universe, but they're going to come back to you with love as well, which is going to make you happier, more productive, and more successful. If people are throwing love at you, it's a lot easier to get out of bed and be happy in the morning. In whatever you do, pretend or act like everyone is worth $1 million. They're the most precious gift on this universe. Like, I'm not saying go out and hug lots of homeless people, but, you know, if you buy a banana and give it to the guy who is begging outside Woolworths, you know, there's no skin off your nose. You making a concerted decision to help him by giving him something healthy and not giving the opportunity to buy booze. You know, like that's really lovely, and people are going to respect you for that. But most of all, you're going to respect yourself, which is so much more important. And the same goes with customers, the same goes with people you meet in the street, the same goes with your parents and your siblings and your cousins and your fellow employees. Every single person is precious in their own right, no matter how crazy they are. Now, there's some people that you don't want in your herd, there's some people you don't want in your environment, and that's okay. You can still treat them like they are precious without inviting them into your life. So this is the end of the 6 weeks. I hope that you've learned some amazing strategies and some amazing techniques. I know sometimes we think that everyone else has a special sauce and we don't have what everyone else has. And someone has a secret out there that you haven't been told. But I'm telling you, no one has special sauce. There is no secret to success. The only thing that's going to make you succeed is massive and determined action. You need to be courageous. Take action and change your life. No one is going to do this for you. You have to do this for you. You have to do this for your family. You have to do this because you want to. You need to decide that Arbonne is for you and that you're going to work to make a difference. Your friends, fools, and family will be your first target market, and then you have to branch out. So how are you going to do that? You are the only person that can make a difference in your life. But you are the best person to make a difference in your life. This is your opportunity. It has been my absolute pleasure to work with you over the last 6 weeks. I've really enjoyed not only training you, but having conversations with you about your individual businesses and the challenges that you have. If you're in Canberra, we are holding a workshop over the Friday and Saturday this week, and if you are interested, send me a message and I will give you a discounted price for that so that you can come along. I know that a lot of you are still in startup phase of your business, but I would love to help you. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I hope that you stay in our community from this time forward. Let us be your herd. Let us pull you up. Let us encourage you and support you and dance with you when you succeed. It's so important to find people that not only love what you do, but love who you are. And I hope that you have found that here. We will be giving you a call to get some feedback and find out what you thought of this course. But if there's anything you'd like to ask, anything you'd like to say, please put it in the Facebook group. Know that you are more incredible than you could possibly imagine. Get out of your own way. Try everything twice. And make a real difference to the world. The world needs that special something that only you have. So stop being selfish and give it to them. Thank you again for your time. Have an absolutely fabulous day. And whatever you do, be courageous.